What's happening, people? Back in the kitchen again, and today it's the one you've been waiting for. It is the budget food challenge. Now I'm going to put all 3 days in one video here, so I'm going to aim to feed myself for 3 days for £5. That's it. So let's get straight into it, because I've been to Aldi last night and I spent £3.69. So now, rules and things, I'm not sure about. I'm gonna let myself use salt and pepper. I'm not including drinks, so I'm gonna allow myself to have a cup of tea or some juice or something like that, and obviously water. Maybe I'm gonna use oil as well, because we've got oil. So I'm calling them the staples, like pantry items, something that you've always got. Now, it's still going to be difficult. 3 days for £5. That's 9 meals. That's like, well, I don't know. It's very, very, very cheap. So I'm going to try. I'm not going to do the same meal twice, with one exception. Today's breakfast is going to be crumpets, but you only buy crumpets in a 6-pack. You can't buy them in a 2 or a 3-pack. So I'm going to have crumpets twice. I'm going to have 3 today, and then probably 3 on the last day. So with that being said, everything else will be different, and today's going to be easy. Day 1, when you buy the stuff, you know what you're going to have day 1. However, day 2 and especially day 3, I'm going to have to get creative. So please watch to the end, because even I don't know what I'm going to make really after today. Today's going to be simple. But now, I have seen another channel do this called Atomic Shrimp. If you want to see the guy foraging and things like that, and going out and buying picking wild mushrooms and berries and things like that, I highly recommend going to see that channel. It's called Atomic Shrimp. It's a massive channel, and he does this a lot. So, but I ain't that guy. If you've come here for that sort of stuff, you're in the wrong place. You might as well click off, because me, I'm just a normal fella. Go to the supermarket and see what I can get. There ain't no way you're going to see me picking mushrooms and berries and whatever else in a field. Not a chance. I'm going to allow myself salt and pepper, and I'm going to buy it rest from the supermarket. That's why I'm going £5, 3 days. Right, let me show you what I've got from Aldi, and then I've spent £3.69 at Aldi, and then I'm off to Morrisons to spend my remaining £1.31. So come and have a look at this haul from Aldi. So you just saw the 6 crumpets, didn't you, there? You just saw the 6 crumpets, and they are coming in at 45p. I've got a tin of chopped tomatoes. They were coming in at 35p. I've got 4 British baking potatoes, and they were coming in at 67p, if I think. Where are they? Yep, 67p. Sorry, I was looking at the receipt as well. And I got these. Now, originally I was planning on buying them cheap muffins, them cheap bread rolls that I've shown on the channel previously at 35p. But these, obviously, as you can see, 50% off, a bit of a whoopsie. We're actually 62p, but with 50% off, they only came in at 31p. And I've got a bag of pasta, and that comes in at 41p. So I won't use all that, but I thought it's good to have. And then I bought these 20 everyday essential pork sausages. Now, I'm going to have to get creative with them, not to just eat sausages for breakfast, lunch and dinner. But they are £1.50. So that haul there from Aldi is our beginning, and that comes in at £3.69 if my maths is correct. So now I'm just going to grab my muffins, have my muffins for breakfast, 3 muffins, save 3 for the last day, and then we'll go down to Aldi, Morrisons, because we've been to Aldi. We've got £1.31 budget remaining, so I'm going to have my breakfast now, and then we'll go down to Morrisons and see what we can get for £1.31. So I am letting myself have butter as well. I'm not including butter in the price, but obviously you don't have to buy that every 3 days, because you're not going to eat a full tub of butter in 3 days. So I'm classing that as a pantry, a staple item, like longevity sort of items, like oil, butter, salt, pepper, the things that you only buy once in a blue moon. Right, so I'm going to allow myself butter on my crumpets and on the muffins, if needed on the muffins. I don't know what I'm doing with them yet. Right, crumpet time. Breakfast time, day 1. I ain't had a crumpet in a long time. Woohoo! Let's go. You know what? Simple but effective. I think that's what I'm going to have to be in this next 3 days. I'll finish this and then we'll get to Morrisons. Because I've got £1.31 burning a hole in my pocket. Let's go. So I am back from Morrisons and I spent £1.26 I think. Now originally I was looking for, because Aldi don't sell individual vegetables and things like that, so I actually I was going to get a single carrot or 2 carrots, an onion, things like that, all individual items, because you can get them, you weigh them and you get them at like 9p, 10p. Like I did with the onion. So although the onion was 18p, quite a big red onion though, so that'll do all right. I got a tin of beans at 27p, and then I was going to buy individual mushrooms, but then I saw these whoopsies reduced 36p from 1.19. So they'll do for a couple of different things now. So I've got a bit more options now, and also like I said, I'm going to buy a couple of carrots because I love the roasted carrots. But actually I've got a veg mix which was 1.49 reduced to 45p. So I spent 45, 36, which is 70, 81, 91, 101, 108 for 27p for that. 126 total. So I had 131, so I'm actually 5p under budget. But I couldn't find out for 5p. I was looking, couldn't find anything. So that's it. So I've had crumpets today for day one, and for dinner, like I said, you've got all the choice here for dinner. I think I'm just going to have I'm going to have half a tin of this beans on one of these muffins and have beans on toast. I'm going to keep it simple. So I'll come back at dinner time, I'll show you my beans on toast, and then we'll get straight into the evening meal. And then tomorrow, you're going to see that later in this video. It's going to be, I'm going to start getting creative. So stay tuned. See you at dinner time. Okay, so it is lunchtime, day one, and I'm going to have beans on toast on one of these oven bottom muffins. Very simple. However, on these beans there's a lot of juice there, which I don't want to go to waste, because I feel like I'm going to have to get creative with every part of every ingredient that I've got. So I'm actually going to just pour that juice into there. And I'm going to cover that up and keep that juice for something else later. Another day, tomorrow probably. So I'll put that to one side. I am going to just microwave half of these beans. Probably about half a tin. And then we'll just get beans on toast. So half a tin of beans and a muffin. Should be okay. And like I say, we've got half a tin for something else. And also decent whack of juice for who knows what yet, but we will find out later in this video when I have to get creative. So I'll make this now, bang these in microwave, toast that, give you a little look. These oven button muffins are nice and soft and pretty decent size. I've never bought them before, but you do have to cut them yourself, which is maybe a little bit of an issue, but very nice. Never had an oven button muffin before, but looks good. So I am allowing myself a little bit of seasoning, so I am going to pepper these beans up a bit to just give them a bit of extra flavour. And also I put a bit of butter in there. I got a comment a while back saying add butter to your beans, you'll never regret it. And look at that. It does actually change the colour and the texture of it. I'm surprised at that. This is the first time I've actually done it. So I thought, well, what better video to do it than this? So let's get this put together. So there we go. Beans on toast for dinner, day one. Right, let's have a taste. So, like I said, this is the first time I've ever put butter in my beans. It was a comment from one of you guys, I can't remember who, but I've also added a bit of pepper for a bit more flavour, because you know what I think about beans. Beans are beans. No, it's not bad. I think the pepper does more than the butter actually, but it's not bad. These oven butter muffins look absolutely fantastic. So let's give one of these a go. They're really nice, toasted. Wow. Right, I'll see you at tea time. Which I know what I'm having tonight because the girls are having it, but they're having it with better quality ingredients. I've only got what I've got. So I'll see you at tea time. We'll be making bangers and mash, I think. Keep it simple for day one, and then I'll run out of ideas. Tomorrow's going to be a nightmare, and day 3 could be anything. So keep watching. See you at tea time. Okay, so it is tea time on day 1, and I'm keeping it very, very simple because obviously I've got all the ingredients. So we are just going to have bangers and mash the first day. I'll have to get creative though because I can't have the same main meal twice. So I'm going to just use these sausages, which I've never had before actually, the Aldi and frozen sausages. I'm going to use, I've got 4 baking potatoes, I think 1 or 2 maybe. Might just use 2. I'm going to use 2 baking, I've used 2 potatoes, make some mashed potato. And I've got a big bag of veg there, so I'm going to roast some of this veg. Now, I'm going to roast, there's Brussels sprouts, carrots and broccoli. So I'm going to roast all that. Not the whole bag, because I'm going to save some, but I'm going to roast what veg I use. So, I'm not going to show you all the cooking and the peeling potatoes and things like that because it's just it's going to be a long enough video anyway, putting 3 days worth of things into one. So, I'll get all this made and I'll bring you back when it's all made and you can have a look. I'll have a taste of these sausages because I've never had them before. Let me have a look at the percentage of pork. 42%, so I bet that's the minimum required. Now, they are frozen sausages, but I have let them defrost because I am planning on doing something different tomorrow. You have to watch this space. But for now, bangers and mash. So, this is day 1, complete after this. So, I'll cook this up and yeah, I'll bring you back when it's done. So I've chopped the stem off the broccoli and yeah, this is just for me. Now, when I first learned about roasting vegetables, it was from the HelloFresh recipe, and they said put the sausages over the veg. Now, with these being not very good quality, I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to put them on their own tray because I don't want the massive amount of fat that comes out of that to spoil the vegetables. So I'm going to put them on their own tray, get the mash going, and bring you back when it's done. Okay, so the mash is done. The roasted veg has roasted pretty well. So we'll get that on there. Oh, look at this. I like how it's all crisped up. Now, I'm sure that it's probably cooked the nutrients out of it or something along those lines, but and we've got these sausages as well, which actually they don't look too bad for 42% pork. So I did make 4. Probably didn't need 4. Probably could have done with just 3, but there we go. That is a meal. That is my evening meal, day 1. Now, alongside salt and pepper, I am allowing myself gravy because it's in the pantry, so I am putting gravy on it. So I've just got a little cup of gravy that I've made. Oh yes. There we go. And that's it. Day 1 completed. So I'll try these sausages just to see how good they are at 42% pork. And then I'll sign off for the evening. And I'll see you in the morning. So let's give these sausages a little taste test. 42% pork, not expecting much to be honest. But there they are. Very bland, very basic. Could do with some seasoning inside, some a bit more herbs maybe. A little bit mushy. The beef collagen casing is nice, it's got a nice little snap. But apart from that, probably not my go-to. But if you're on a budget, there's no wrong with them. I bet my girls will like them, especially when you've got some nice gravy. So, Brussels sprouts, roasted Brussels sprouts. Look, it's falling to pieces. Look at that. Roasted broccoli. Oh wow. I think I'm going to roast every piece of veg all the time, maybe bar peas. Anyway, that's it for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to have to get creative then tomorrow, aren't we? So I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Let me just move you around a little bit there. It is day 2 now. I am allowing myself a drink, so I have got a nice cup of tea here. This is where it starts getting interesting, I think, because the ingredients are sparse, and without having the same thing each day, which obviously I could do, I could have done that 3 times basically, but it gets boring, doesn't it? So I'm gonna have to get creative. Now, I'm not being very creative this morning because it is, what time is it? 6:30 a.m. Girls are still asleep actually. So what I'm gonna have today, I have got, well, let me show you. For my breakfast, I'm just gonna have a sandwich, nice and easy. However, at lunchtime, I've got something that is really creative, something that I've never done before, and something that I'm not even sure if I can do. So we'll find out. But come and have a look what I'm having for my breakfast. So I'm gonna have another one of these oven bottom muffins. They are a day out of date now, but they're still fine. They're still fine, nice and soft. I'm gonna get into these button mushrooms. I'm gonna cut a few of them up, slice it up with a little bit of oil in there, fry some of them, and I'm gonna bang 2 more of them sausages in the cassoulet because they wasn't bad yesterday actually. I quite enjoy my bangers and mash. So, however, the best bit of the bangers and mash yesterday was the vegetables, the roasted vegetables. Unbelievable. Never had Brussels sprouts like it. Anyway, sausage and mushroom sandwich basically. So there we go. Right, let's get that made. So I've got my sausages in the cassoulet. I've diced my mushrooms up. I'm going to get them in the frying pan in about 5 minutes when the sausages are nearly ready. And then we'll just have a taste. There we go, sausage and mushroom sandwich. I've allowed myself butter and a bit of brown bread sauce. So that is breakfast served. So sausage and mushroom sandwich and a cup of tea. A good start to day 2. Now I'm going to eat this then I'm going to have to head off to work, and I'm going to come back, and my idea is at dinner time I'm going to create something that I've never created before, never cooked this homemade before, and with the limited ingredients that I've got, I don't know how it's going to go. So what I will say is, I'll see you at dinner time. It's just going to be a couple of seconds for you guys, but it's a few hours for me. And I've even resorted to writing stuff down and planning my meals, because I've got to get creative. That's what I'm going to do. So I'll see you guys at dinner time, and it'll be just in the blink of an eye for you. Okay, so it is lunchtime, day 2. Now, I am doing something today what I've never done before. I've googled how to do it, so I'm hoping that this turns out well. It might just turn out absolutely dreadful, but I'll give it a go no matter what anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make my own homemade soup. Now, I don't have a hand blender. I do have a NutriBullet, so I'm hoping that that'll blend up some vegetables. But I also was going to roast the vegetables and have like a roasted soup. I'm not sure what to do. I don't want it to be too watery. I kind of want to blend them up. So I'm not 100% sure what I should do. But I'm going to play it by ear, as always, get creative and see what I end up having for my dinner. I was going to put a potato in there as well, but I did have to use 2 yesterday on the mashed potato, on the sausage and mash, because there wasn't enough for just one of them baking potatoes. I had 2 decent sized ones and 2 were pretty small. I probably should have bought them individually. If I could go back in time, I'd probably buy them individually, because you can get the bigger ones. Anyway, right, I'm going to make a soup. I'm going to try and make a soup. So let me show you what I've got down here. It's just the vegetables. I've got a bit of onions. I've got that bean juice that I saved from beans on toast, and salt, pepper, water, and I've got a little bit of vegetable stock from the pantry, which I'm allowing myself, and then that's it. So let's have a look at this. Okay, so realistically we have got just a bit of this bean juice, which I'm just going to add to the soup, because I don't know what else I'm going to do with it. So we'll put that there from yesterday. This is the vegetables we've got left. So I'm looking at so there's not a lot there, so I'm going to have to use it all, I think, because I'm looking at my future plans, and I don't actually need any vegetables in any of this rest of this meal. So, and I won't need all these mushrooms. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put some mushrooms in they're not all great ones though. That's a bit bad there. It's not going to focus, but I do need a few mushrooms for tomorrow for my plans, but I reckon we can bang a few in there and blend it up. That should be enough. So I'll put them back in there for tomorrow. I reckon we're going to make a soup out of this, obviously salt and pepper to taste, a bit of boiling water, and I'm just going to blend it up, I think, because I don't think I've got enough to roast. Right, I'll chop it all up, we'll get it in this pan, and we'll get it boiling and make some sort of soup. So we'll get these vegetables boiled off, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get a bit of the red onion I've got as well. Where did that go? 'Cause I haven't used any of that yet, so I'm going to have to put some onions and some mushrooms in there as well. So that's what we're going to do. So I'll let that boil for a bit. I'll cut some onions up. We're going to fry the onions and mushrooms, put them in there as well. So if you're wondering why there's a plate on that pan of the soup, it's because our pans don't have any lids. We've only got one pan which is massive that has a lid, so I just use a little plate. You're asking why we've got no lids on the pans. Someone in this house might have thrown them all out because we never use lids on the pans, and they were just taking up valuable space. And that someone would be me, and Mrs. Deano told me not to because I'll need them one day, and that day has arrived. So, as usual, Deano's wrong and Mrs. Deano's right. Right, let's get back to this soup anyway. So I believe that this takes about 15 minutes now just to soften all that vegetables up and cook itself in that stock. And then you're supposed to, in an ideal world, you'd have a hand blender to go in your pan and blend it up and it'd make a nice thick creamy soup. However, I don't have a hand blender. The best I've got is one of these Breville smoothie makers, like a blend, but it is a blender effectively, but it'll just go in there. We've got blades and things like that, so that goes in there like that. And then all the stuff goes in there and it'll blend it up. It should work fine, but if it doesn't, then oh well, it might be a bit chunky, but it's fine. If anyone wants to sponsor the channel and supply me with a hand blender or even some new pans with lids on, the email's in the description. Right, about 10 minutes then I'll let this go and then we'll just I'll blend it and make it. Okay, so I've got the mushrooms, the onions and that little bit of bean juice in there. And now we're going to get this soup mix. Actually looks alright as it is. I could have probably had a crunchy soup just like this, but I didn't want it really watery. I wanted it like a thicker creamed soup. So I'm going to blend it up. That's what I've seen online. That's what I've learned to do, or I've hopefully learned to do. We'll see what we. So I'll get it in here and we'll give it a blend. Absolutely perfect. Look at that. Alright then, let's blend it up. Remember how to use this. Okay, so there it is. We'll get it back in the pan and just warm it through again. There we go. I made some nice soup there. So that actually looks really nice. So I'm going to get myself a bowl full. It reminds me of sometimes me and Mrs. Deano, when we take the dog out, we go on the canal and we go to a fish and chip shop called the Golden Hind in Brighouse. I've actually done a food review on it. I'll link it at the end of this one. I did it a while back. I did the fish and chips, of course. However, sometimes when we're out with the dog, they always have soup of the day on, and it actually reminds me of that soup of the day that they generally have on. It's like a vegetable soup all the time. Broccoli, carrots, Brussels sprouts. This has got onions, mushrooms. Oh, usually theirs have Stilton in, so I'm thinking this might just be missing some cheese. But I'll give it a taste anyway, because I'm super proud of that. That is absolutely banging. Didn't think I could do that, but I've done it. There we go. Dinner is served. And there's probably another portion or two in that pan. So it's alright making a stew. It's alright making a soup, but unless it tastes nice, pointless, isn't it? But it smells alright for a vegetable soup as well. It's red hot. It's absolutely delicious. Oh man, that is absolutely delicious. It reminds me so much of that soup of the day at the chip shop we have on the canal. Oh man. Little takeaway cup, and I could have that all day. That is fantastic. Shame there's 2 portions and I've got to do something different for my tea, but you know what? I might even eat both of them portions now because it's really nice. I put quite a bit of, well, not quite a bit. I topped it, my bowl there, with a bit of black pepper, and it's giving it a bit of spice. But otherwise, it's really, really nice. That if you've never made soup at home, I mean, you're probably all going, of course we have, Deano, it's only you idiot. But if you've never made soup at home, oh my God, try it. Tins of soup are like nearly £1 each. Even the cheap ones now, they're £1 each. Before I started this, I did a chicken curry soup, which was 75p a tin, and that was one of the cheap ones at Morrisons. You're going to see that food review after this. I've done this 3 weeks, but 3 days, sorry, not 3 weeks. But that is better than it. That is cracking. I'm well chuffed with that. Right, we'll carry on because if I keep talking, this video is going to be about 2 hours long. Now, I was thinking about splitting it into 2 videos and cutting it here and doing the next day and a half, the tea, and the next day, and like a roundup. But I'm just going to put it all in one video. So keep watching. I'm going to have to get even more creative. Let's tick the soup off. Soup's done. What's for tea tonight? Ooh, that should be all right. I feel a bit more confident about the tea tonight than I did this. But this is cracking. So I'm going to have this bowl, probably take that other bowl back up to work, and I'm going to go back to work this afternoon, and then I'm going to bring it home for my tea. So I'll see you then. Wow, unbelievable. So, work done with, and it's now tea time. Obviously it's just going to be 1 second for you guys. Now this is what I've got left. I've still got a lot of them sausages which I've defrosted. I've got half a tin of beans. I've got maybe a third of a pack of mushrooms left. I've got just over half an onion, red onion. I've got 2 potatoes, 2 baking potatoes left. I've got a full bag of pasta, a tin of chopped tomatoes, 2 bread rolls, oven bottom muffins left, and of course 3 crumpets, which is going to be breakfast tomorrow. However, today I was obviously thinking about doing a pasta dish, but we just had a HelloFresh delivery today, and the girls are having this Herbie burgers and wedges from the HelloFresh family thing, so they're having that. So I'm thinking, I look at that and I think, could I make that? And I might have to make burgers out of sausage meat, but a bit of salt and pepper. I've got potato, I can make some chips. I think I'm going to try that. And yeah, I might not even actually use this pasta at all. Now, I did realise after I bought this that spaghetti's cheaper. But oh well. Right, I'm going to make myself a burger because they're having burgers and it's not fair. So we'll see what this turns out like. Let's see if I can make a burger out of sausage patty, sausage meat. I don't know. Let's have a look. So I've never actually done this before, but I'll get a few of these sausages out. Shall I have 1 burger or 2? I'll make 4 sausages, and I'm going to have to try peel them. Now, like I say, I've never done this before. However, I did work in a sausage factory for 3 weeks when I was 16. Not 3 weeks, 3 days. I quit. Because you don't want to see what goes into sausages. So peel the skin off. Oh, you can actually peel the skin off. And then we should be left with sausage meat. So I'm not going to put salt in because I think there's probably got enough salt in these sausages, but I am going to add some pepper. Because I like pepper, gives it a bit of a kick. And also, like I said, I'm letting myself have herbs and things. I have got this Italian herb seasoning lying around. I don't know what we do with that, so I'm going to bang some of that in as well. Give that a mix up now, and then I'll make the burgers. I think I'm going to get 2 out of this 4 sausages, so you actually only need to use 2 sausages.
which at 15p a sausage just means it's a 30p burger. Not bad, eh? Right, I'll get these chips sorted before I have to do this, because I think I'm just going to fry these. Okay, so that is one of the spuds. That leaves me with one for tomorrow, for whatever dish I decide to cook tomorrow. Now I'm going to bang these in the cassoulet, nice and easy. Use the chip setting as I've shown you a few times on this channel. Nice and easy this, and get these in 25 minutes, and then I'll probably do the burgers as well in a second. So that is them just about done. I'm just going to put them in the oven just to make sure they're cooked all the way through, just while I do some onions. I've used a little bit of the onion, so I'll bang them in the oven just to cook through while the chips are cooking. And I'll fry some onions. You can't have a burger without fried onions, especially if I've got no cheese. Got a hiccup then. So I'll see you in about 10. Okay, so as you can see, I've got a little bit of ketchup and a little bit of butter on my oven bottom muffin. I do like that, and I am allowing that. So we're going to start one of these burgers now. Obviously, they're not the best quality meat. However, you know, sometimes when you're in need of a budget, get a couple of these fried onions on there. When you don't have a lot of money to last you till the end of the month or whatever, sometimes this is necessary, and it's a way to maybe trick your children. This is a double. I'm making a double. Now I'm only making a double because I need my last bread roll for this challenge. However, if you could afford another 35p for another 4 rolls, you could probably make 2 or 3 burgers out of even this 4 sausage patty. These are pretty chunky burgers, these. Now it's a way to trick your children into not thinking they're having just sausages each night, or even trick yourself. Like if you're just bored, if you're skin, I can remember. Well, I'll tell that story in a second. I'll get authorization from Mrs. Deano first. So that burger is a beast. Look at that, double burger. Just missing some chops. There they are. They've turned out all right, I suppose. And that butter on it, that one spray of butter. And that is burger and chips. Budget style, double burger and chips, budget style. God, imagine how much that's actually costing. What's a baking potato? 20p, 23p. There, 30. This is probably about 50p worth of food. Incredible. Right, let's have a taste. So here it is. Double pork burger, sausage meat burger. I feel like they're going to taste like sausage patties from Mackey's. Give it a good squeeze. There's a lot of juice coming out of that. Let's give it a go. Oh, chips are a bit hot. That's not bad. It's obviously, it does taste like sausage, of course, because it is sausage, but it's a different way, I suppose. It's not quite, it doesn't taste as well as, or look like it tastes as well as what the girls have had, the HelloFresh Herbie burgers with the proper beef mince. But, you know, if you're on a budget, like I say, you need to, not trick your kids, but like, make them think they've got something different, and you can only afford a £1.50 bag of 20 sausages. That's all. That sometimes that's what you need to do. You got to feed them kiddies up, and yourself as well. Don't ever forget about yourself.
I can remember, I just had to okay it with Mrs. Deano that I could tell this story. I can remember when me and Mrs. Deano first started out, I was working part-time in a video shop. You remember that? A video shop, when you used to go and buy videos, VHSs and DVDs, before Netflix and things like that. And she was at university, and that's all we had. We had a little council flat. I think it was something like £40 a week, and that included your water. Absolutely incredible, like, for what it was. But we had no money. We had gas and electric on keys. We had to go to the shop and top up as gas and electric. And it was like a different time now. And I just remember us being so skint one week that we literally bought Tesco value sausages and a bag of potatoes and had bangers and mash every day for a week because we didn't have any money. But it filled us belly and it hadn't done us any harm. Well, you might think it's done me some harm, but when you see Mrs. Deano in the future, I'm trying to get her to come onto a food review or take her out, even take her out on a date. When you see Mrs. Deano in the future, you'll be like, I ain't done her any harm. Anyway, it's banging. It's burger and chips at the end of the day. If you can afford to throw in a cheese slice, kids will love it. It is what it is. Right, so that's the end of day 2. I'm going to have to get really creative tomorrow. Let me consult my pad. So, in the morning I'm going to finish them crumpets off because I don't waste food. So we know that. So you're going to see that in about, well, you're going to see it in about 10 seconds. And then, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got some random ingredients left, but that's the beauty of it. So keep watching. If you're still watching to now, thank you very much. And if you do like this video, please give it a like. And if you haven't already, subscribe. And I'll do more of these challenges and things like that. And any ideas you've got, bang that in the comments. But if you have subscribed, don't forget to hit the notify bell. Right, enough of that. I've got another day to go. So another day filming tomorrow. This is hard work. So please, please, please share it as well. Get it on your social medias, whatever that is. Instagram, TikTok, whatever they are. Bang it on there. God, I'm old. Right, I'll see you tomorrow for day 3. Good morning, it is day 3 and the final day of this food challenge. If you're still watching, thank you very much. I am not sure it's best idea to put all this in one video, but we'll keep pushing ahead nevertheless. Right, it's an easy one today. It's very early, it's about 6:30. I go to work a bit earlier on a Friday to get home earlier. Obviously, start the weekend earlier. You know the drill. So, we're just having the 3 crumpets that I've got left from Wednesday, day 1. So, finish these off today and then go to work, come home just after dinner and we'll have a late dinner, which it might be a bit tricky. I've never done that before either. Well, I never made soup, but I did that yesterday, so who knows. Keep watching. You'll be able to see it in about 30 seconds. But I'm off to work and I'll catch you. You don't need to see the crumpets again, do you? I'm having 3 crumpets. I've made a rookie error. We've run out of sugar. So I can't even have a cup of tea because I have a sugar in my tea. So I'm just going to munch them. Actually, I'm going to take them up to work. I'm going to take them up to work and have a cup of tea with my crumpets. So I'll be back at dinner time with lunch. We keep going. Okay, so work is over. Now I have got this. I've got this left. Now I've got to have my dinner and my evening meal from this here. So it might be a little bit tricky. Normally at this time I won't be thinking about evening meals and food. I finish work for a Friday and normally I go and meet my cousin for a pint. We go for normally have a pint of Guinness, especially in nice weather. Although it's all right. It's not as sunny as it could have been, but normally we go have a pint of Guinness in beer garden before school's out, before he picks his daughter up. But unfortunately I'm busy filming today, so I'm sacrificing my Friday afternoon pint for you guys. So I hope you appreciate that and give me a like. Right, with that being said, let's have a look at these ingredients because I've got to make my dinner today and my evening meal. What am I going to have? So this is what I've got remaining. I've still got a full bag of pasta and a tin of tomatoes. So I'm thinking I've got to make some sort of pasta dish for my evening meal. But for my dinner, I've already had beans on toast. Now that would obviously be an option. I do have a spud left and I've still got a few sausages and an onion, mushrooms. Could I create some sort of full breakfast? Bacon and eggless full breakfast. Maybe create a hash brown. Should I try and make a hash brown?
homemade hash brown, toast, beans, tomatoes, mushrooms. Sounds like a plan. Alright, let me Google how to make hash browns. So, I've had a little Google, and I think I could probably make my own hash brown. I'm not going to deep fry it though, but I might just, I don't know, oven cook it, I don't know. But all you need is onion and spud. Don't know how many I'll get out of that. I can make some toast. I can have some beans, tomatoes, mushrooms. It's actually, I could even bang a sausage on. So I could have a full breakfast just without bacon and eggs. Let's do that. Treat myself, it's Friday. Okay, so I have peeled the potato. I had to cut quite a bit off there. There was a bit of a bad bit there, but so it's not the biggest potato. They're calling it a baking potato. However, the Aldi baking potato. Anyway, you've got to grate the potato. Now, I've never grated a potato before, so I don't know. Oh, and my grater's broken now. Typical. There we go. A grated potato. I probably should have done it this way so you could have seen it, but I'm right-handed and the camera only fits there. I only got a little kitchen. But there we go. So now I know you've got to get the moisture out of it, so we've got to put it in a tea towel and squeeze the moisture out of it. But I think, do I do the onion first? I can't remember. I've got to grate the onion as well. Surely it's just easier to make your own. This is making me cry. Right, got to get the moisture out of these now. They're blooming onions. So I've drained all the moisture out now. I'll just do that by squeezing it in a tea towel. So this is dry as anything now. So I'm probably going to get 2 or maybe even 3 hash browns out of this. Not a lot of onion in it. I probably should have used more onion looking at this. But we'll try form a couple now and get them frying. Tell you what, that's looking better than I expected. Wow. Although I've done it again, haven't I? I forgot to put salt and pepper in it. Oh well, be right. Sausage is in the cassoulet now. Baked beans, onions, I'm going to get some mushrooms in there. Get some toast on, have a little full breakfast for dinner. Not bad, eh? So I've got the mushrooms in there and I'm just going to put the hash brown in the oven. It's looking decent though. There's actually lots left. Probably could get another 2. One definitely, maybe 2 hash browns, but I'm actually going to save that. I'm going to let Mrs. Deano try one because, I'll be honest, I'm pretty proud of myself. Right, so mushrooms, I'm going to put them in, they're going to fry them off and then put them in there just to keep warm in the oven with that while the sausage is cooking. I'm going to microwave a few chopped tomatoes and a few baked beans. Put the muffin in the toaster and we'll have a full breakfast for dinner. So there we go. That is my breakfast / brunch. This is the second to last meal. I don't think I've done too bad there. Beans, homemade hash brown, my last oven bottom muffin, mushrooms, tomatoes, sausage. Now, I've only had a couple of spoonfuls of tomatoes because I wanted to save some because I'm going to need them tonight for the pasta dish, I think. I mean, it has to be a pasta dish, doesn't it, tonight? Because that's all I've got left. Not a lot left, so I'm going to have to see how I go on tonight. So I'm going to go eat this. And I'll see you guys at tea time when I'm going to have to use the remaining ingredients to create some sort of pasta dish. I've still got a full bag of pasta. Anyway, look at that. Let's crack it. In fact, let me taste this hash brown. Because that's the thing. Everything else you could do. Everything else you could just have, couldn't you? So it's got a crispy on the outside, but it's nice. You can see that onion in there.
different. It's got a nice little scratch on it. It's definitely lacking a bit of seasoning. Like I said, I did forget to put salt and pepper on, but I can bang a bit of pepper on now, over the whole thing really, because I do like my pepper. And also, no, I don't have any brown sauce. Red sauce is not for breakfast. Controversial, I know, but it's brown sauce or no sauce for me. So I'm going with no sauce. Still didn't bring any sugar home either, so we've still got no blooming sugar. So I can't even have a cup of tea with it. So I'm going to stick with this Aldi's version of diet lemonade. And I'll see you guys at tea time. We're creating the final dish of this budget 3-day challenge. Hope you're enjoying it. See you at tea time. It's Friday night. It's tea time. Finally, it is the end of this challenge. Now I've got very little ingredients left, but looking at it, it's pretty obvious what I've got left and what I've got to make. So come and have a look at this, and we'll make the final meal of this budget 3-day challenge for a £5.
So I've got a full bag of the pasta still. I've got very little bits of onions left now, mushrooms. Now they're not in the best state because they was reduced, but they'll still be okay because they were alright on the brunch this dinner time. And I've got that much of a red onion left. We've got a full tin of chopped tomatoes effectively, apart from a couple of spoonfuls that I had. And a few beans, not many I don't think. Open that one-handed. Yeah, not many beans, but it'll be going in this because that's all we've got left. And then a handful of them sausages still, which obviously we're going to use that for the meat. Now, after using the sausages for the burgers yesterday, I know that once I take that skin off, it's not going to be like a minced sauce, not going to be like minced meat. So I'm actually going to do pasta and meatballs. I'm going to make some meatballs out of it because the burgers weren't bad. The meatballs with a bit of pepper and salt and pepper and Italian herbs in might be alright. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to make some meatballs. We're going to make a tomato sauce, and I'm going to put mushrooms and onions in it, pasta. Let's go. So I'm actually going to use this again, what I use for the soup, and I've put the rest of the beans in with the tomato, and I'm going to try and make a sort of thicker tomato, like passata, so a bit more, rather than the actual chopped tomatoes, because I'm going to make it more like a sauce than just a tin of chopped tomatoes. So that's what I'm going to do. This is uncooked, by the way. So that gives me my nice tomato sauce. It's not the best colour, but it'll do. Right. I'm not making a lot, I'm literally just making enough for myself because the girls are not having this. They literally turned their nose up at me when I suggested them having this. So, the dishwasher's just turned on. I've got pasta all over the floor. But it's been a long 3 days, I'm not going to lie. Nearly over now. This is the final meal of the budget challenge. I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's food. I'm going to get some full English breakfast. I'm going to get some fish and chips, and I might even have a curry to end the day with. I'm joking. But I'll tell you what I am doing tomorrow, or what I'm eating tomorrow. You guys will see next week. Mrs. Deano thought it'd be funny to get me to try some extreme hot and spicy noodles. She just likes to see me in pain, I think. Right, I'm going to get this going, and I'll give you a little clip of it, and then I'll bring you back when it's all done. Okay, so let's get these meatballs and onions into the sauce. Keep that oil because I'm going to use it to fry the mushrooms off. Now there's not a lot, there's probably more sauce than toppings there, however that is all I have left, and these, so bang these in. And once they get in there, we're basically done. Now, if I'd have thought a bit more about it, I could have possibly got a either got a garlic bread or tried to create my own garlic bread. Instead of buying this pasta, I could have bought spaghetti, because spaghetti is about 20 odd pence cheaper. So I could have probably found another roll or something for 20 odd pence and made some sort of homemade garlic bread. But oh well. We'll keep on learning. There we go. Mushroom, onion, sausage, pasta. And there's enough for another portion there. So let's give this a taste. Doesn't look too bad, doesn't smell too bad. I've got a feeling it might be a little bit bland, but that's unfortunately. I have put some pepper on it since you guys just saw it. So I'm going to go straight in for one of these sausage meatballs. Yeah, they're decent. The sauce is just chopped tomatoes, really. So the Italian herbs are not really helping it that much. The thing is, if you're on a budget, this is something different again. So we've got mushrooms and pasta and onions. It tastes like, the sauce just tastes like the cheapest glass jarred pasta sauce you buy from the supermarket. So I don't know if that's actually cheaper to buy the jar from there than the chopped tomatoes. Although I have used them on my brunch earlier, so I was thinking of giving me more variation. But the onions and mushrooms are nice. Give it a bit of texture that it doesn't normally have. I did see on Facebook that some people were in like a budget family food group. Some people say just have pasta and baked beans. Pasta and beans. Like if you're skint, just do that. The sausage meat's not too bad, right? But because I've had it so much over the last 3 days, that was my only source of meat really. I was going to get some cooking bacon as well, but I decided to go elsewhere when I saw the reduced veg and the reduced mushrooms. I was just going to get single carrot and single mushrooms. However, I'm so glad I got that veg, because the best thing about this week for me has been that homemade soup yesterday. That was fantastic, and I will definitely 100% be doing that again. Recently I have learned how to get vegetables into my diet. I'm not really the biggest vegetable fan. Generally have peas with a roast dinner or mushy peas with fish and chips, something. But other than that, not really getting them in. Now, when I was doing the Hello Fresh a couple of weeks back, that one of their recipes suggested roasted carrots, and they were unbelievable. And we'll always have roasted carrots. And now, the soup that I made in this challenge was also actually unbelievable. Now, I'd have probably, if I wasn't on a budget, I'd have probably made it less carroty and more. I'd probably put more broccoli in, or even more sprouts, because you know the Brussels sprouts, I'll never have them at Christmas.
and now I can bang them in a soup. I'd have probably added some cheese as well, because I do like a Stilton or something like that. I think that would have really elevated it, and like a crusty roll or something. Really, it would have been really nice. But it was good as it was, and it's a great way to get it into your diet, even if you're for your kids or something like that. Cheap as chips as well. You can pick up single veg for 9-10 pence a pop, or you can get on the lookout for them whoopsies, I call them, reduced items. So that's it from me. If you are still watching now, I absolutely thank you so much, because I know that this is going to definitely be my longest video ever. Now, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Should I split this up into three videos, 3 days, or maybe a day and a half into 2 videos, a part 1, part 2? I haven't, and I'm just gonna let it run, and hopefully you've watched to the end and you've enjoyed it, and you want me to do it again, or do it again with some twist. Any more ideas for little food challenges like this, let me know. And thank you. Like I said, my favourite was the soup, the homemade soup. That was my favourite meal. Obviously, it's possible. Everything's possible. And like I said at the very beginning, I'm no expert in foraging or using old bones to make stock and things like that. So hence why I've allowed myself some herbs and spices from the pantry items and things like that. I'm not sure I could do it any other way. I haven't got the knowledge, I don't think. But if you're going to go to the supermarket, you've only got a £5 to spend, and you need to feed yourself for 3 days. You could follow what I've done the 3 days, and there's plenty of food. It might not be the best food in the world, granted, but you're gonna have a full belly. You're gonna have something warm. You got 3 meals a day warm as well. So, and the soup, there was 2 or 3 portions there, and also the 2 or 3 portions here. And I've still got there's still some sausages left. There's still most of the bag of pasta left. So there's things there that you could do. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm sorry for rambling on this last clip, over 5 minutes now for tasting, but I was just trying to sum up this last 3 days. It's been really hard to film, and I'm dreading going upstairs now and editing this now. It's probably going to take me all weekend, so I'm hoping it comes out on Monday at 3, but it might be a bit longer. But we will see. And yeah, so make sure you've hit that like button if you did like it. Thank you very much. We're so close to 5,000 subs now. I'm hoping that this video pushes it over the edge and we get to that 5k mark. It'll be a massive landmark, and I thank you all for being here the whole time. Really means a lot. Right, I'm gonna go finish this, and I'll catch you tomorrow for another food review. What's happening, people? Back in the kitchen again. Hope you're all fantastic. Thanks for watching. Would be special. Wouldn't buy that again.